Yeah, very good morning, children. We have already initiated the textual syllabi and Unit 1 personality development. And in continuation to this Unit 1, here is reading B we are about to discuss. The stories mentioned here automatically inspires and strengthen our will to travel further in attaining success. So there is no specific definition for success so long we get the self-satisfaction. And it's usually said by elderly people, where there is a state you automatically get satisfied with one condition, there will be no further invention, further progress. So satisfaction has multi-dimensional understanding. In general, people understand how a fellow god succeeded and earned some name and fame, riches is called success. But if we do observe any of the successful personality, the success doesn't come all of a sudden or overnight, or it is not instant. So there is a lot of thought process, planning, execution, rigorous practice, and finally the effort succeeded by the concerned person will be recognized by people, and so we call it success. So we have a saying in English, failure is a stepping stone for success. That doesn't mean all are supposed to fail, but failure doesn't mean there are no more options in front of us. This is one way where we couldn't succeed. Why? Because this particular lesson is very crucial for youngsters like you. The present day education is purely competitive education. Right after 10th class, you appear for multiple competitive examinations and even intermediate passing. There are so many of the gateways based on the national level competitions. And foremost, we know MSET, JEE, like this. So when some student doesn't get succeed through any of these JEE entrance or some other examination, the present day students are getting very much disappointed and taking some odd decisions of ending their lives. All this is we hear, watch on TVs, and recurring. The most important element one need to understand is when we cannot succeed in one attempt or one way, our life is not ended with full stop. There are multiple ways, multiple dimensions, angles we can see through. So such kind of a comprehensive understanding that is supposed to be acquired by the present day students and who like to end their lives, get disappointed, lose self-confidence, we need to get inspired of ourselves. That is very important. So in order to understand this very clear, we have the evidences mentioned here. And this lesson is labeled every success story is also a story of great failures. Success, as it is discussed, not an instant one. Success comes after so many of the attempts, So all attempts we cannot consider successful. So the final attempt can be. And in the same way, this personality development related historical evidences are exemplified here by you, for you, by Shiv Khera, a famous author, Indian author, who has written a personality book, personality development book, You Can Win. And it was the largest seller across the globe. And he is considered to be personality development content writer. So let us see what he likes to tell us to get inspired of ourselves and to get motivated towards the next step of our success journey. Yeah, I read it for you. Failure is the highway to success. Tom Watson Sr. said, if you want to succeed, double your failure rate. As the saying says, failure is the stepping stone. You just imagine with our own experiences, we appear for some FA1 examination, FA2 examination, and next comes SA1. Comparatively, it is a bigger examination. And we feel it is convenient with FA1 and FA2 as the syllabus is limited and area of testing is limited. When it comes to SA1, automatically it can be a bigger test. Obviously, we get some less marks because the present day testing formula is purely application oriented, and it's not only your teacher, any of the external teacher can imagine some situation and ask you some question, and probably we may reach or may not reach in answering that. So situations may vary. So you're getting less mark in SA1 examination doesn't mean you have no enough knowledge. You have no enough understanding. As per the situation, that situation exemplified in the question paper, probably you couldn't have experienced or imagined. That's all. So this is the way we have to think. So then what we have to learn out of this getting less marks in SA1 examination? Here, not only the situations created by your teacher, situations hypothecated by you and parents or friends, there are multiple situations which different minds can think. In that imaginary situation, how to behave, how to respond. That is going to be a solution. So, when you take it positive and practice accordingly, collecting various situations and responding to them properly, automatically you can perform better in the SA2 exam. So that it is said, failure is a stepping stone. Okay, so if you study history, you will find that all stories of success are also stories of great failures. But people don't see the failures. They only see one side of the picture and they say that person got lucky. You must have been at the right place at the right time. So the hardship you have done, behind you get succeed. Nobody considers, nobody witnesses. You only know that. But when you got elevated, automatically people prize and say it is an overnight result. But it's not true always. Not always. Certainly it is not. Let me share someone's life history with you. Here is a list of failures throughout the life. Let us see. This was a man who failed in business at the age of 21, first failure. Was defeated in a legislative race at age 22, second failure. He contested for election and got defeated. Failed again in business at age 24, third failure. Overcame the death of his sweetheart at age 26, almost a blow to his life. Had a nervous breakdown at the age of 27, health disorder. Definitely it hinders our effort. Lost a congressional race at the age of 34, another defeat in the election. Lost a senatorial race at the age of 45, a higher level of election, again he lost. Failed in an effort to become vice president at age 47, another failure. So his life continued with all failures. Nowhere he tasted success. Lost a senatorial race at age 49 and was elected President of the United States at age 52. All throughout his life, till 52 years, every attempt he made for public life was a failure. Did he stop? Usually common people, they stop with one failure, two failures, three failures, like this. And that in India we have some beliefs. It might be good for us, it might not be good for us, something like that. And believing in all this, we drop down. We don't proceed. But he continued every attempt, irrespective of failure or victory. He proceeded. And as a gunshot, he got elected as the President of America. And you know, even today, America remembers this great man, tall man. Can you guess who he is? Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln is a man of failures. Even as a lawyer, he was a failure. But he got elected. A white president elected in a mixed race, black and white. You know what he did immediately after he got elected as the President of America? Blacks were looked down there. And this apartheid system, inequality between white race and black race, it was so miserable there. They have no equal rights with whites and all. And one more mean thing is, black people were sold as commodity. A white family, a white master can purchase a black slave from the market. A black fellow as a commodity in the market can be displayed as slave. Slaves have no rights. This was the main condition then in America. And as he got elected, he eradicated this slave business. And many more things he had done. And today, we consider he is the greatest personality who could bring equality for humanity. Okay? So, shall we call this Abraham Lincoln as a failure? As he failed in many of the attempts, almost all the attempts he made in his life, except presidency. We cannot say, because today he made a remarkable era in the history of America. So we cannot consider that as a failure. Would you call him a failure? He could have quit. But to Lincoln, defeat was a detour and not a dead end. Detour. There are so many subways. Imagine we are on the way, moving in a vehicle, the road is blocked. Obviously, when there is a road blocked, there will be a bypass. We need to fetch for it. Feeling that the road is blocked will be there itself. So this is very important. And another failure story. In 1913, Lee De Forest, inventor of the triodes tube, was charged by the district attorney for using fraudulent means to mislead the public into buying stocks of his company by claiming that he could transmit the human voice across the Atlantic. He was publicly humiliated. No, diode. Nowadays, if you have some electronic knowledge, probably your physics teachers might be telling. In your mobiles, there is a motherboard. In your system, there is a motherboard. Likewise, in olden days, radio, tape recorder, such kind of electric and electronic gadgets, they have some motherboard and they are made up of some circuit and some IC and triodes and all. When me and your parents were young, there were radios of very much big size, radios. The radio box is made up of wood and there will be a number of parts, and triodes were also a part of it in making a radio or a tape recorder or any of the electronic gadgets. Triode would be like your test tube, big in size. Nowadays, everything is so much advanced and we almost have nothing, just like a design, the motherboard today available. But old radios and all the transmission that was done, audio transmission that was done, we used to call it a radio broadcasting. So he invented the triode and said, advocated people, he can transform the voice from one place to another place. The Western nation couldn't believe it and he was, of course, punished. But if this Lee De Forest couldn't invent this triode, today we couldn't have our smartphones. Because that was the beginning of this advancement. So, though he was considered antisocial then, today we need to understand he was a successful man. Next. A New York Times editorial on December 10th, 1903 questioned the wisdom of the Wright brothers who are trying to invent a machine heavier than air that would fly. Wright brothers who invented aeroplane. Of course, they were made fun by people. You just imagine with minimum common sense. Something fly which is lighter than air, which is heavier than air, automatically falls down. And when you enter science and all physics, you call it is the gravitational pull of the earth and all. So simple understanding, if I drop something, that definitely falls down because the element has some weight. And they expected the heavy machine is supposed to fly from one place to another place. As the world was full of its biblical understanding, in the sense, the whole Western nation, there was very much confined to Bible what it is said. Of course, in epics there might be something, but in advocation it went something illogical. So people believed he is doing something again anti-social and anti-Bible, just like how Galileo was blamed. But just within few days, they proved it. 1 week later at Kitty Hawk, the Wright brothers took their famous flight. You know, when we start doing something new, the first and foremost thing that we receive is ridicule. Ridicule. People make fun of us. If we stop there, we cannot proceed. Okay? If you are confident with us, automatically we have to proceed and overcome these obstacles. Next, Colonel Sanders at age 65 with a beat-up car and $100 check from Social Security realized he had to do something. At the age of 65, he became entrepreneur. You know who he is? Sanders. Probably you love it much. KFC owner. So that KFC recipe, that was actually the recipe of Sanders' mother. And he wanted to start this as a business at the age 65 with $100 in his hand. He remembered his mother's recipe and went out selling. How many doors did he have to knock on before he got his first order? It is estimated that he had knocked on more than 1,000 doors before he got his first order. How many of us quit after 3 tries, 10 tries, 100 tries, and then we say we tried as hard as we. So this is very remarkable. Anybody will try something in the younger stage, and he expected at the age of 65, and then nobody demanded this recipe. More than 1,000 times he tried selling this to somebody, but no use. But still, he couldn't drop down, got succeeded, and today we know that what is the name and fame of KFC. Okay? So we cannot consider his initial efforts as failure. Next. As a young cartoonist, Walt Disney faced many rejections from newspaper editors who said he had no talent. One day, a minister at a church hired him to draw some cartoons. Disney was working out of a small mouse-infested shed, near the church. After seeing a small mouse, he was inspired. That was the start of Mickey Mouse. Today we know, of course, today we have some other replacements as some Nobita, okay, and some other characters, comic characters, cartoon characters, Augie, something. But for about nearly 40 to 50 decades, Mickey Mouse is famous. Mickey Mouse, the character which was created by Walt Disney. And that Mickey Mouse earned him some $1 million of amount, name, fame across. And so today we have Disneyland, the world famous studio for movie making. Okay? Successful people don't do great things. They only do small things in a great way. Again, there is a saying in English. Great people don't do different things. Please try to follow. Great people don't do different things, a variety of things. Then what they do? They do things differently. They do things differently. If we do observe, we can understand. A better example we have Abdul Kalam. There were so many of the scientists across the ages in India, starting from Aryabhatta. Why we admire Abdul Kalam? He did things different. He connected science and invention to the common man, day-to-day life. So anything that is developed, that must be helpful for a better living condition of a common man. That's what is great. Successful people don't do great things, they only do small things in a great way. Yeah. One day, a partially deaf 4-year-old kid came home with a note in his pocket from his teacher. So from school to home, the child has come. And the teacher's note he showed to the mother. Your Tommy is too stupid to learn. get him out of the school. And nowadays we cannot do that because everyone has some spark that is to be identified. Unfortunately, that teacher couldn't identify and sent a note to the mother. He is unfit for studies. But the mother couldn't believe it. She responded to the teacher. His mother read the note and answered, "My Tommy is not stupid to learn. I will teach him myself." And that Tommy grew up to be the great Thomas Alva Edison. Thomas Edison had only 3 months of formal schooling and he was partially deaf, physically challenging, no education, but still he had a number of inventions in science. Henry Ford, who started Ford car factory. Henry Ford forgot to put the reverse gear in the first car he made. By that it cannot be considered it is a failure. But Ford car in Britain, even today it is very rich, royal, and honor to maintain. Okay? Do you consider these people failures? They succeeded in spite of problems, not in the absence of them. But to the outside world, it appears as though they just got lucky. But luck is not at all the matter. Okay? All success stories are stories of great failures. The only difference is that every time they failed, they bounced back. We are supposed to act like a ball. When you are stuck to the ground, you need to bounce back. The similar personality development lesson once again you get in intermediate English. Bouncing back is a philosophy. You remember it. This is called falling forward. Falling forward. So, though you are failure, you are stepping forward, proceeding in your efforts. When you fall back, what happens? You will be hurt and cannot get up. This is called falling forward rather than backward. You learn and move forward, learn from your failure and keep moving. So this is what the philosophy we need to understand out of all these failure stories. And even Abdul Kalam says, learning about success stories says there is no value. There is nothing, there is very less to learn. When we read failure stories, we do understand how to get success. Yeah, here is one more important element. Below are more examples of the failures of successful people. Thomas Edison failed approximately 1,000 times while he was working on the light bulb. You know, the bulb is invented by Thomas Alva Edison. In the process of invention, he failed 1,000 times, but he still tried and succeeded. Henry Ford was broke at the age of 40. The great company owner and designer of Ford car. And Beethoven was told that he had no talent for music, but he gave some of the best music to the world. A musician who was not accepted at the stage. We have so many of such. Even in India, even in Telugu cinema field or Indian filmmaking. You know, the great Big B Amitabh Bachchan. He was not accepted as an actor because of his height, because of his voice. But today, we call him Big B. And the great N.T. Ramarao, the senior, was not accepted for the first time when he acted as Lord Krishna. But today, we do personify Lord Krishna and Rama and all the epic characters, mythical characters, only through the person. Okay? So, we need not get disappointed for being neglected by somebody, not identified by somebody, or the situation dominant against our effort, all this. Setbacks are inevitable in life. A setback can act as a driving force and also teach us humility. In grief, you will find courage and faith to overcome the setback. We need to learn to become victors, not victims. When we feel ourselves as a victim, sufferer, we get depressed. When you undergo depression, automatically we end life. So that is not wanted. We need to encourage ourselves and proceed further. Fear and doubt short circuit the mind. Never fear to do anything, to ask anything. It's a very commonest thing in classroom situations. When you have a doubt, very few people, I mean students, they get up and ask. Many students, they have doubts. Though the teachers are encouraging to ask, there is some nervousness. We don't get up. And we have a feeling that probably we don't know English probably. Probably friends laugh at us. So many things we think of. Imagine, let them laugh. Let it be our language. We are at the learning stage. We need to. So it is very important. We need to learn to become victors, not victims. Fear and doubt short circuit the mind. So here is a wonderful story. Through a story, we do understand how importance, what kind of importance we need to give for that zeal of learning, zeal of success. Okay? Just if we dream about success, it doesn't come. We should have a life and death urgency for that. Okay, let us see. The motivation to succeed comes from the burning desire to achieve a purpose. Napoleon Hill wrote, whatever the mind of man can conceive, means generate, and believe the mind can achieve. So you need to believe in yourself. You need to believe in your plan. You need to believe in your goal. If somebody says you cannot do that and you accept it, you can never do. You can build up your abilities. You need to believe, yes, I can. Then you can do it. Yeah, let us observe the story. A young man asked Socrates. Socrates is a great Greek philosopher. A young man asked Socrates the secret to success. Socrates told the young man to meet him near the river the next morning. You know, Greek type of education was an open kind of education in the nature. So Socrates asked the student, the young man, to come to the river tomorrow, and then he would tell what it might be the secret of success. Socrates asked the young man to walk with him toward the river. When the water got up to their neck, to this level, probably the river is flowing deep, and they stepped in, and almost the water crossed their neck level. When the water got up to their neck, Socrates took the young man by surprise and ducked him into the water. All of a sudden, what Socrates did? Socrates is a very strong and a heavy personality, and he ducked from over the head. He pushed the fellow inside the water. So almost he completely drowned in water. And he couldn't allow the fellow to escape from the drown. So Socrates is very muscular and applied all the force upon the head of the young man, and the young man automatically could get into the water. What happens when we get into the water? When we are not ready. Even though we are ready, to some extent we can survive. After that, No chance. Socrates took the young man by surprise and ducked him into the water. The boy struggled to get out, but Socrates was strong and kept him there until the boy started turning blue. When the human body turns blue, when there is no oxygen. When there is no oxygen supply in the body, almost the body turns bluish. And the young man was about to die. There is no oxygen. As he was in a continuous breathing, he could survive for some time. Thereafter, oxygen levels are getting zero, and the boy, the young man, turning blue. And if Socrates continues that pressure upon the head of the fellow, definitely he will die. Socrates pulled his hand out of the water, and the first thing the young man did was, what happens? Don't experiment, just imagine. Put your head in the bucket. Please don't do the experiment, just for a matter of understanding, I'm telling you. So, when your head is fully ducked into the bucket full of water, automatically you don't get breathing. Okay? We need air. Okay? So, once you come out of that, what happens? The immediate requirement for anybody, that is oxygen. So until then, for about, imagine, for some 4 or 5 minutes, the young man was ducked and pulled out again. Then the situation is a life and death problem. The immediate task he wanted is, he wanted to take breath. Then he started like this. So the immediate requirement for the fellow is taking breath. Socrates asked them, what did you want the most when you were there? There in the sense, water. The boy replied, hey, what do you want? Chocolate? Pani puri? Or some other thing? No. What you wanted at that critical point of time, that is nothing else, only air, oxygen. Need to take breath. Now, Socrates said, that is the secret to success. What does it mean? Air is the secret? No. How you felt, that must be acquired. Oxygen must be acquired. Likewise, you must have a desire to achieve success. To live further, how you felt oxygen is needed. To survive, you need to feel in the same level success. If you don't have that level of intensity towards the success, you don't get it. Got it? If you want to get succeed, you need to have a desire, not a want. Want is weak. Desire, passion. If you have a passion towards it, you try for it. Okay? Weak mind cannot achieve success. That is the secret to success. When you want success as badly as you wanted the air, then you will get it. If you decided you want to get succeed in the athletic competition held every year, district level, imagine we missed it this year, then you need to have a rigorous desire, passion and practice. Then you succeed like that. So there is no other secret. The only secret is a strong will, strong mind and continuous effort. A burning desire is a starting point of all accomplishment. When you would like to succeed, you should have a burning desire. All the time you should have. Memorize that. Just like a small fire cannot give much heat, weak desire cannot produce great results. Okay, so this is the way we need to approach in lives. We need not get disappointed with failures. At the same time, success doesn't come easy. We need to have a visionary dream, plan for it, work for it all the time, remembering this, and then we get succeed. So definitely this lesson can help not only students, almost all the people who would like to get familiar, popular, and successful in lives can take it as a personality development unit. Okay, so dear students, we stop here with this reading be completed. Basing on this, I provide you a worksheet, a comprehension paragraph. So, on receiving this worksheet, you please answer it on a special separate paper. You need not write a questions again in the answer sheet. On a separate answer sheet, you write mentioning the question numbers, right answers, and please forward that to Dhanalakshmi madam. It's not to me. Please send it to Dhanalakshmi madam. I have provided the contact details of Dhanalakshmi madam already on the worksheet at the bottom. So please do it. Thank you.